Welcome to Castle Class Presents Roll20. My name is Corey Longnecker, and I will be your guide through all of this. We're going to treat this first video like a session 0 in D&D or other role-playing games, where we highlight our goals and just try to give you a quick overview of what's to come, kind of prep your expectations and get things ready. What we are not going to be doing is going through any tutorials in this first video, but we wanted to give you a tease of what's coming. So first and foremost, this is designed for Dungeon Masters or Game Masters, those who are going to be running the game. There is one particular section that will have some player options, and we will get into that briefly, but for the most part, it's going to be designed for those running the game. That said, if you are going to be running this game, it will require a pro account to do 95% of the things that we talk about. That is a paid subscription, but it will unlock a lot of really cool things for your players and do a lot of cool things that will give you, as a Dungeon Master or Game Master, a lot of options to make the game a little bit more fun. Topics that we are going to be covering: the initial setup for the pro account, so a way to build an initial game and then copy it over so that your other games can have the same things included. Something called the VTT, or Virtual Tabletop Suite. It's an add-in for Chrome and Firefox that unlocks a lot of cool features. This is the one that does have some things for the players, but primarily for the DM. Other cool things, so in Roll20 there is the 5e OGL character sheet. There is an API add-in for that unlocks a lot of other cool things. And we're going to tie that in with a macro that you can build called the long rest macro that allows your players to click it when they do take a long rest and recover their spell slots and hit points, and it's customizable for things like that. Other APIs and macros that we're going to be covering: status trackers, inspiration, token name number. This may not make a lot of sense yet, but we'll get into that when that video comes up. Status info, group initiative, the ability to highlight a bunch of monsters or NPCs and dump them all into your initiative tracker at once. Dynamic lighting. We're going to go over briefly into dynamic lighting. There's a lot of videos out there about how to do it, but particularly how it ties in with a macro called, or an API called Torch, to give basically your characters the ability to turn on a torch whenever they'd want to and have it follow them instead of having to place one with them. And then perhaps the coolest thing, an API called Token Mod, and in particular for the Druid, if they choose Wild Shape, because you can do a really cool thing where they can switch to all of the animals they see, carry over attributes and hit points and stuff like that, and then switch back to their character and have their token change. So there's a lot of cool stuff. So if this is something you're interested in, please click subscribe, get that notification going, and I am a new dad, so I'm going to try to put these videos out as often as I can. I have a plan, so stick with me and we'll get through it. So subscribe and we'll talk to you soon.